gang, welcome back to episode of Hero to Villain with me, Dr. Ben GFM. Maybe the final Hero to Villain episode. Who knows what might happen today? If certain managers get certain sackings, then certain managers might be moving places. We'll see. The summer is set to be interesting. Of course, last time then, not a very good episode. It must be said, 2-0 defeat to Arsenal, 0-0 against Wolves. But actually, following up with that, a 1-0 against Watford and a 2-0 against Everton. And I thought there'd be a good chance we would get a little further this season. But the 1-0 defeat to Stoke has caused us a few problems. Southampton and West Ham, two Premier League stalwarts for us to face today. Away at Southampton and at home to West Ham. Already relegated West Ham. Have had a really poor year, it must be said. At Southampton, mid-table, not much to play for. Speaking of which, if we can't go any higher today and get that 5th or 6th place position, then it looks like Europa football will not be coming to Villa Park next season. That said, the European situation is very interesting. There's teams from this league in the Champions League and the Europa League semi-finals and quarter-finals. I think there's 3 in each even. So it's really quite competitive over there. So there is a chance that maybe one of those Europa spots can come our way if things go well for us, especially if Tottenham hold on to that 4th place position. They've still got a game in hand as well to play against Watford, so it's looking good for us in some level to get into 7th or maybe 6th. We're level on points with Liverpool. Our record is identical. Our goal difference is the only thing that separates the two of us. And it must be said, very briefly, Manchester United, top of the table, have won the league, 87 points, far and away the best side this season, and a goal difference of plus 64, very impressive. And we're not even done yet. 2 games to go then, and our first one, Southampton away from home at St Mary's. Let's go. Team-wise, it's becoming familiar, isn't it? Garrido, Morgan, Alkin at the back with Barons and Servi in the centre, Vergara and Luiz. Either side, Dusek on the left, Guimel on the right, Gudmundsson to play behind Menace in this one. And yeah, look, we've got to win it, otherwise today it's going to be very sad for us. Of course, the stadium will be built in a few years though, so all is not completely lost and dead. Some interesting players in this side. I must have said Artur plays for them. They've got Zivkovic as well and Mannix up top through the centre, who is very good. You might recall we had him on loan for a period. So he's the man we've got to stop today though if we're going to get the victory that is required. We've had some decent results in recent episodes, but also some really poor ones, so hopefully today will be a better time. It was a couple of episodes, we beat Chelsea, that was looking really good, and yesterday, not particularly good, last episode I should say, not particularly good, especially that game against Wolves. We had to win that one, and we didn't. Dusek's injured immediately. Well, Doku could come on. I mean, it's not ideal, but it is a straight swap, so it's not too bad. There's other positions on this pitch that would have caused us a lot more problems. That might be the end of his season, which is quite sad, really, because he's been a star of it for the most part. So, yeah, it's a shame that he's going to miss out probably for the rest of it, as Mannix goes towards goal with a header, but no, not this time. It's quite nice knowing that we're safely going to be 7th. It's a good year. We've run out of European football. It's very similar to a couple of years ago, though, isn't it? It's like the situation, very similar in that we're not quite good enough to break into that top 6 quite yet, but we're certainly better than a lot of the sides below us. It's just whether we can convert that and beating some of these better sides. We've seen in episodes that I've played this season in videos, we've played some of these better sides and they've just got that quality difference that we don't have. And I think to get into that top spot, or those top 6 spots, is going to be a real challenge again today, as that ball played in isn't great. And you've got to say, early stages here, Southampton, as the home side, certainly look more game for a goal, as they're keeping the ball relatively well. We're struggling to actually get near them as things stand. We might have to change things up a little bit maybe, and consider a change as they go forward again, smash it off the crossbar. Well, I mean, I don't know if it was a great save. I think it was. Yeah, Garrido stopped the first one and the second effort put wide. 32 minutes gone, and I'm sort of continuing to let this play out a little bit, although I think changes at some point will definitely be necessary. As you can see, Southampton controlling the game really nicely. So far, we've had quite a lot of possession comparatively, but when it comes to what they're doing with it, another close chance. We can't let this stand for much longer. I'm going to make Luiz. I'm going to just drop him back actually into this position. Deep line playmaker on defensive, and Vergara I'm going to have as a box-to-box player just to the left of him. A little bit more defensive cover allows us to continue to still have many players going forward. But at the moment we're getting overrun. We basically changed it around. We had a shuttler with a playmaker. We've got the same thing, just different players have now playing different roles. All right, half time. Pretty mundane, but the best chance is definitely go the way of Southampton. Team talk wasn't overly impactful, as based on the points tally I could see over there, Liverpool looked to be winning, which puts a stop really. Do we need this here? I guess we know what the score is. We can see it, can't we? As we go to the latest scores then, yeah, Liverpool leading Newcastle, Manchester United scoring even more goals, as a few of the other sides around the top half doing very well, as Gudmundsson loses out there. Can't be losing the ball in those areas, as Mannix ball to Zivkovic is very good. Of course, Wonder gives Zivkovic in the twilight years of his career now, number 25, who's got a tricky name to pronounce, and I'm not going to offend or pretend I know what it is. as it goes just wide. I think Goikov for Gunmundsson in that shadow striker role, that's going to be what we're going to change right now. Got about half an hour to go. We've got a substitution in the pocket if you want to use it late on. And the likes of Nissen maybe to come on for Menes. We've not seen too much from him. Such a hot and cold striker. I've not had a striker in this whole series. Marky Fletcher. Fine. Yeah, okay. Fine. You've got me on that. But we've not had too many strikers this season or this series that have been absolute powerhouse goal scorers. Certainly not on this Villa side. Lemons, I guess maybe, but only did it for a year, didn't he? And then he sort of fell away a little bit. So there's a chance. I mean, that is one of the weirdest corner run-ups we've ever seen, as Garrido claims. Can we counter from this? You've got to think, if you just launched it into this area, we maybe have a chance, but we're being patient with it. That ball out to the right-hand side, though, finally comes, and it's a good one. About 10 minutes left to go, if you include the injury time that's expected at the end of this game. Vergara now. Lovely ball over to Doku. If you can put it back across, there's players there. Alkin now racing forward. Vergara goes for it and doesn't quite find the back of the net. 5 minutes to go. I guess we've kind of got to go for it. Final few minutes. I did think maybe it would just turn in our favour. There's a free kick for Southampton. Launched forward. Barnes is under it. Doesn't quite find a player in a Villa shirt, though. And it's going to be Southampton again to come forward. O'Keefe now with a big chance and hits the post. Southampton can't believe it. I think he might have been off, but even so, 3 minutes of added time remaining and a final highlight. Which way will this go? If we win it, then the next game could actually mean something. If we don't win it here, as that ball over the top's good, well, I was going to say it was good. It wasn't that good. Garrido comes and gets it, but a late goal, a late Villa goal, we've scored plenty of them this season, gives us a slim chance at doing something quite special as Grimmel gives it away. It's a 4-on-4 in attack for Southampton. O'Keefe now plays it all the way across. Garrido with a good save. It's not over yet, though, the dangerous. Morgan challenges. Still 90 seconds, and the highlights keep on coming. It's end-to-end at this back end of the game as that ball forward isn't particularly good, but Nissan, the pace of Nissan to nearly get on that was immense as they kick it out, and there's going to be a throw-in late in this game. I say a minute to go. Are Villa capable here of just snatching this at the death? That's St Mary's. Alkin, left side. Can he find anyone? He puts it in. Grimmel's nearly there. Rugi's header away is decent. Erman Turkman now. Ball all the way back across to the right-hand side. They've got a spare man in the middle or the back post if we can find him. I'm going to say if we can find him. If they can find him. I don't know what he's done. He's wasted it. It looks then like it's going to be 0-0 as an action-packed last 5 minutes comes to an end. Drama filled. I was talking more than I ever expected to. But you can see the Liverpool draw, by the way. Hang on. Liverpool there. I think they've won. Of course they've won. They're 2 points ahead of us and we've drawn. So I'm going to say I'm not happy because I think against Southampton we should be doing a little more really. It wasn't a good performance, especially in forward areas. Really poor from us. Something we've got to improve on. If we're going to progress in later seasons. You can see it's still not quite over for us. If we win, we can get into 6th position. Liverpool's final game, though, is against, let's see, Arsenal. So not an easy one. And they've got a Champions League game against Manchester United before that. I mentioned the Europa teams, Liverpool playing Manchester United in a Champions League semi-final. Quite impressive. Could have been us. Could have been managing that. Could have been cocking that up for them. But no, they chose not to. As Dusek, his season, as suspected, is over 3 to 4 weeks with a back strain. Mainly because he's been carrying this side for most of the season. So it makes sense. Big summer window, no matter where I am. It's going to be interesting, viewers. I want a Premier League title on my resume. That's what I want. That now. Forget the Champions League. I said it a few episodes ago. The Premier League, that's what I want. And I'll stop at nothing to get it. Unbelievably, this is going to be my 200th game, final game of the season, 200th game for Aston Villa, which is a lot more than I imagined. How's that compared to Boston? There doesn't appear to be a way to tell, which is a bit annoying. Year-wise, though, I was at Boston for a lot longer, so I can only assume that suggests obviously that I've been longer there. So obviously, I'm just looking at the biographies for both. Not good. It does remind me that I did win the championship. So if anyone says, "Oh, you won a trophy in this series," bollocks. I've won the championship, which is very good. Very difficult to do. So bear that in mind when you slag me off. I've seen you. I know what you look like. All right. Don't you think I don't notice? I do. It's just occurred to me that we're failing FFP. So we'll see what happens with FFP as well. All right, team-wise, 2 injuries. Lloyd Morgan's picked up a knock as well, which means Sam Robinson is going to come in. I'm going to start Obermeyer for Servi as well, and Dusek is going to step out, of course, for Doku. Dylan Chambers on the bench. In fact, let's give Chambers a run out. Why not? It's been a while since I've seen him actually start a game. Up front as well, I'm going to change things around a little bit, as well as bring Bakken in for Louise in the centre. I'm going to give a few players that didn't necessarily see enough football this season a little bit of an opportunity to shine with me at the back end of this season. So why not? Come on, let's give it a go. Garrido, Robinson, Obermeyer, Barons and Alkin, then Vergara and Bakken will be in the centre. Chambers, Goodmanson, Grimmel and Nissan. There'll be a lot of you that go, who the hell is Robinson? Who the hell is Bakken? I've barely used them this year, which is my own fault, but we're 7th, so that's not bad, really. I did take a lot of your criticisms on board, and I do change things around based upon some of your comments, but I will say, to come 7th with this squad, I still think it's pretty good. I think getting beyond that is still quite a big challenge, so I'm not a terrible manager. I'm just not top tier. Let's give the fans something to cheer about. End of the season, of course, we can still leapfrog Liverpool, who have to play Arsenal. This season not quite finished yet. 6th position for us is very much a possibility. In fact, with that in mind, let's remove all of this, as that's pretty much done and dusted. Let's go up to the top 7, and let's bring in the latest scores down on this left-hand side, as there's nearly an immediate goal that goes against us. I will say, West Ham, traditionally, on Football Manager, a bit of a bogey side for me. Never do very well against them for whatever reason. I'm thinking back to my days with Salford, Thames. They've always caused me issues. But you can see, they're going to be the team that attack first in this game, as well as Hartfield ball in. Moreno's there. It's off the post. It's off Garrido, and it's in. And it's been given as a Garrido own goal. Harsh, I think. Very harsh. With the home side, I'm going to get at them a bit more. We're going to play a little wider, a little bit more direct as well, and hit our crosses slightly earlier too, and see if Nissan can get on the end of them. So we're 1-0 down. Again, it really matters what happens at the Emirates. We'll see what occurs with it. As I've noticed, I just realised as well, we're playing a lesser side, and then Robinson, who's coming for Morgan on that right back spot, does a lovely bit of defending. As Goodwinson now finds Chambers. Can he prove the haters wrong? Well, he finds Nissan, and it goes in. No one's hated Chambers for about, I don't know, 10 episodes. So I'll stop with that now. I think it's finally done. I've hated him by not playing him, to be honest. As again, it was really nicely worked. Out to Chambers on this left-hand side, who actually has come inside a little more. Little chipped cross, deflects actually, and Nissan does brilliantly to react and put it in the far post. Lovely stuff. Right, so it's back up. We're back drawing. That's fine. What though will happen at the Emirates? That's the question. Big ball launched over. Robinson there has to deal with 2. Knocked down to Moreno's very good, and he switches it straight back across. This thing now between fullbacks that just cross to each other constantly. It's getting on my wick. I don't know if it's a new thing at the end of Football Manager they've popped in there. Sterling to Osman, and it's 2-1 now to West Ham, and they're back in the lead. This could be a 6-6. I'm getting Burnley flashbacks here, viewers. And not just because we both wear similar colours. Like, I'm scared. Grimmel, can we have a goal straight after their goal? I mean, make it 2-2, 10 minutes in. I'll take it. I'll be honest, I'll take it. Chambers, inside, drives forward. 6-6, viewers. It's happening. It's happening. I don't want it. I can't take it. It's nice to see our attacking players turn up today, though, after the last game. Vergara, ball in. Grimmel's there. Nearly gets a 3rd. Arsenal lead. Guendouzi scores. And we now know that a win will take us above Liverpool in the table. And we'll finish 6th, which will take all day long. And then with that in mind, Chambers breaking forward. Finds Grimmel on that right-hand side. If he can get it back across, there's loads of players open. Goodmanson's one of them. And all of a sudden, viewers, we're into 6th position. Well, what a turn up for the Bucks. Tottenham beating Manchester United as well. It's all kicking off. West Ham corner. Oh, for God's sake. It's 3. It's going to be. It's happening. It's Burnley 2.0. 3-3. Are you having me on here? And it was a corner. That doesn't make any sense at all. The Premier League, where defending's optional. Arsenal still lead 3-3 at Villa Park on the final day. They're certainly not on holiday yet, these boys. I'm going to say I'm pleased with how things are going. We've scored 3 at home in a league game. Well, yeah, great. Yeah, we've conceded 3, but I'm not even worried about it. Goodmanson driving through the heart of the West Ham midfield. Finds Chambers, who cuts inside on that right foot. He's already done this once. He goes for it again. Not this time, though. Goodmanson free kick now. Whip towards that back post. Obermeier's there. Oh, we can't get it into the back of the net. Barons keeps it alive, does he? No, it's over, but another good chance for us. If we don't beat Southampton and I don't beat West Ham here and we don't finish in 6th, it's a bit of a joke, really, isn't it? That realisation that we should probably be up there is starting to hit me. Ball played across. West Ham could really put a spanner in the works here. Barron's header clear was very, very good, and it might even start a counter-attack of our own. Vergara finds Goodmanson inside. Loads of space. Finds Nissan, does he? It goes back to the goalkeeper. It should have been more. Sterling to bring it away, and while I thought it was an attack for us on the counter, Obermeier out of position. Robinson does well. Chambers. It's back and forth. This is why it's going to be 6-6 viewers. Ball over to Nissan. Can he get a shot off? He can, but not in the goal. I mean, it was at the goal, but it wasn't in the goal. We're going to go attacking. We're going to go a little bit more hell for leather here. Paul Pogba for it with his final game for the club as well. He's going to come on and try and playmake for us. Double playmakers, triple playmakers in the centre. It shouldn't work, but it will work. Mark my words, viewers. Watch it, read it and weep. Because I'm going to bring Robson on as well, actually, at the back. Robson's going to come in for Obermeier, who's had, actually, a better game than Barron's. We'll change our minds. It's late doors. Hopefully the 3 playmakers hasn't caused us too many problems. As Pogba there, playmaking, finds Grimmel, right side. Can he find this one, or will he go on his own? He goes for goal. It's not ever going to be enough from there. We've got another change if you want it. I'm tempted to do something a little bit mad. No, I don't think I should do it. I'll do it, Ben. Come on, why not? Goikov on. We're going to take... who's played worse? Alkin's going off. I'm going to play 2 attacking players behind here. Shallow striker, pushed up with Nissan. And then these 3 are going to form a back 3 for the final few minutes. There's a highlight at the very least as Grimmel loses out on their header. Osman, they might have a man over here, and this could cause all sorts of problems as Harfield gets on it. A ball back across here, and we're in big trouble. Moreno, I've ballsed it up big time, viewers. It's an absolute bottle job. Oh, for goodness sake. We needed the goal. There's a goal review, actually. It's been disallowed. Oh my word. Surely a bit of late drama now. Can we get the final goal? 4 minutes of added time. It's been ruled out. They've got a corner though. Whipped in. Grimmel's head's clear. Not very well, it has to be said. Good blocking though. And now got a chance. Chambers runs forward. They've had a goal ruled out. I thought it was over, viewers. I thought the chance of us getting any higher was over. Nissan. Oh, he scored it! Nissan with it. 4-3. I can't believe what's just happened. I've gone from being absolutely broken to being 4-3 up. I don't know what's just gone on. What a way to end the season. Chambers finds this, and I'm thinking, I've seen this angle too many times. He goes for it. Goalkeeping error at the near post. What has just gone on? I called myself a bottle job and everything. There's 2 minutes left to go and they're attacking. We're still very attacking here. Robinson heads it to Obermeyer. Pogba, there could be another one for us. Oh, Paul, why have you done it? Stop playmaking, Paul. There's no need. I really need to come off very attacking, but I might as well let this highlight play out. Oh, not like this, viewers. I can't believe it, viewers. I can't believe it. Where do I go? I just need to hide. I want to hide. Oh, it's not quite a 6. Oh, my God. I didn't change it, viewers, because I was on the high of life. I thought, you know what, let's get another one. Osman, ball out. I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid idiot. Oh, my God. We're into the 95th minute. It's got to be over, though. There's no... Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my goodness me. When I said I was a bottle job, I was pretty much spot on. Assertively so, unlucky boys, wasn't our day. You're all a bunch of bottle jobs is what I should be saying. I don't care. In theory, they shouldn't be listening to... Ignore me at that point. Just ignore me. Meanwhile, Burnley conceded 6. They were part of this today for some reason. Now, 7th, based on all the European stuff, might end up being enough. But right now, it ain't. I'm not doing the press conference. We get 33 million for a 7th place finished. And we're pleased the team have qualified for the Europa League. Right, well, that was a... And calm. That was all very unnecessary, wasn't it? Very unnecessary. All right, let's take a look then. Hopefully a few awards and whatnot will be dished out at the back end. I wonder if it will be punished as well for our failure to comply with the fair play regulations. 86 million to spend next year. I don't know where it's coming from, but the 33 million we've got for the league finish goes in some part towards it, I assume. There will be sales this summer. I've no doubt about it. Some things will have to change going into next season. Look, I've got to get a league title one way or another. And I think either going big in the transfer window massively, revamping the entire squad, alternatively, switching ourselves across to somewhere else. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out next time. Loads of little bits of information have come through. A few players inducted into the best 11. End of season awards then. Barons, top of that. Louise just behind with Alkin. Louise playing out of position for most of the season. But up there, the fans really appreciate that. And his goal of the season. Dusek signing of the season from Slavia Prague. And Barons gets Young Player of the Year. A really decent campaign for a few of these boys. It wasn't a vintage season. But to finish 7th with Aston Villa, they've been there many years ago. And I'm getting them back there once again. The chance of getting a title with them seems slim, but that's that famous phrase, we go again, and hopefully you'll join me for it. We love with care until tomorrow, where who knows what might happen. I'll see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.